So this weekend, I believe it's Carmel. It's close to Indianapolis. The Dayton group, April Wilson. She has the McIntyre series. All the hot heroes, all the protectors. She has that series. And of course there's Aliya DalRae, and she has the Vampire in the Legion. And they're set around, okay, the town is, it's really so cool the way she did this. She took the Germantown, Ohio town, spun it on its axis, and then set that up as her fictitious fallen cross. Now, while I just found that really interesting. It was like, you know, what town can I do that in? Well, I decided that I'm getting ready to write a new series. I'm going to have a new pen name. And I took Dayton, Ohio, back in the 20s. Yes. So there's a lot of roads that aren't there, that are not, that are here presently, but were not back then. So that's how I decided to do it. I'm going to work in the Easter eggs that way, in stories that my grandmother and my mom would tell me, because they they lived through the, I think it was a 1903 flood. Rochelle Bradley's going to be with them in Carmel, Indianapolis. She does rom-com and fantasy, romantasy. It's hard to imagine her not writing anything romance. I'm going to say romantasy. I think there's a lot of fairy tale retellings in her stuff. C.J. Beatty. Now she writes male romance, usually I'm going to say like Civil War era. I could be wrong there, but I know that she is part of Aliya's Wednesday night group that gets together and writes. She is part of Rochelle Bradley's Friday morning get together and write. So many writing groups, and I live an hour and a half away, so you know I don't get to go down and partake weekly because I would be on the road constantly. Not that I'm not on the road constantly, but you know. So anyway, they're all going to be over in Carmel. If you haven't got your tickets or anything, please look it up. It's a writers group. Do I remember the name of the event? No. But I'll look it up and I'll put it in the description below. There has been a lot of changes on the way home. We have new gas stations. They hadn't even started building them when I left. And now they're thriving. Exits. You know, they say the construction. Okay, so they say the exit is open, but it has it all blocked off until you have to make a right-hand turn. So here's the thing. total secret. But what if I don't? What if I tell you my pen names and the genres that I'm writing? They're like, okay, so the one will be totally fantasy and urban fantasy, and the other one will be totally romance. Okay, with a nomadic twist, of course, you know. It's the kind of gal I am. But, you know, I'm trying to think of how to go about. Is that better? I'm trying to think about how to go about not having to, you know, have a website for each name, for each genre. Right now, Combat Boots Media has a page for each of us. And my urban fantasy will be Romantasy. My urban Romantasy will be debuted at GenCon 2025. It will be in Author's Alley or Avenue. I forget which one they call it. I will be with my friends, Danni Williams, who is a romance fantasy writer. She has dragon shifters and vampires, all that kind of good stuff. And she has a couple series out. So, you know, if you're interested in that, look around. And, of course, there's always Aliya DalRae. You know. Okay, the reason Aliya and I, we go back. I'm not sure how many years we go back. But I met her at a NaNoWriMo live meet. Rochelle Bradley was the ML. That's how I met her. And then I met Aliya. And I told Aliya, I said, "You're my new best friend." that was at a point in my life where I had no friends. I mean, I had internet friends. I knew people online. But I was a mother of four, stuck at home, being a psychic on the internet. So I didn't get out much. I didn't get out at all. So, but Aliya and I didn't get to become friends in the true sense of the word until about 2 years ago. And that was when I had throat surgery, and her, at that time, husband agreed to allow her to be my Sherpa. I couldn't pick up anything over 5 pounds at that point in time. And so she not only carried all of her books in and set up, then she carried all of my books in and set up. And it was at that point in time that, you know, we started really developing the friendship that I knew way back when I first met her. I don't know when. 08 maybe? 09? Long time. And, but anyway, her and her husband, after 34 years, ended up getting a divorce. And, you know, and in her coming out of the divorce, our friendship has really grown. Not only has her writing started excelling, you will find her at all kinds of book events all over the place. And she does small events, she does large events. And she's a wonderful person. You really ought to meet her. Let's see. Where was I going with that? I don't know. But oh, yes, I do. All three of us will be as the bookworm authors at GenCon. lot of direct sales with her books. Me, I'm going to do cartomancy, I hope. They are still considering me. So they haven't told me no, but they haven't told me yes either. So I'm still hanging in there with hope. I'm still hopeful, forever hopeful.